And hopefully they will keep these as straight as possible, because it gets really difficult to work with if they're not. But that's where the balancing part comes in. So once everybody is ready and has your base, hold up your base and I know that you're ready. Because I don't want to go on with this without you, because it's tricky. Good job. So you guys are on the right page. And you guys are all set over here? Beautiful thing, beautiful thing.
Can I see your flat sheet and you can fold your flat one?
Yes. You should have an X and a plus. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you should have. And then you're just going to, yeah, make sure that your creases are really, really tight. That's what
Oh, I think it's
So when you fold it in half, yeah.
No. Oh, it's your other one.
Yeah, it almost just folds right into itself.
While she's doing this, just to remind you guys that they do need pictures for your classroom by the end of the year. So your room parent will probably be collecting pictures before March. So I know that sounds like a long time off, and some of you in here are room parents also. So when you do this, try to take a picture of the classroom if the teacher allows you and says there's no permission problems. You know, take a picture of the classroom or take a picture of a little group that's working really well. You don't need 10 pictures of this project. Or if the teacher, you know, puts them up somewhere in a certain area, it'd be great also to, you know, just take a picture of that and then forward it on to your room parent, or forward it to me so I can get it to your room parent to make sure that, you know, some of these lovely little projects get in your scrapbook page for the end of the year, okay, or in the yearbook page. All right.
Next thing we're going to do, once you've got your base made, set that aside, and then you should have two long pieces. They might be different colors, they might be the same, probably a red and a black. I believe you should have a red and a black.
Right, 3 by 9, 3 by 9, different
And we're
shape.
going to cut those because we're going to have two small pieces on one part of it and then a big piece to balance it out, because we're going to balance this. And they're going to be, you're going to fold it in half exactly. You're going to do, you know what, and do it together the same, because they're both going to be exactly the same. Put them together, line them up, fold it right smack in half. So you've got a smaller rectangle with both of your pieces. And you don't have to worry about making it such a crease, because you're going to cut it. You're going to cut that in half. So you're going to cut it right in half like this. And then you'll have 4 small rectangles. And you're going to take 2 of them, like a red and a black, and you're going to fold that in half again. So these are going to be even smaller. So it should be like this. You're going to cut it into these kind of pieces. A big piece and then 2 smaller pieces. So that's how it should be cut. In half, and then one side gets half again.
Cut them after that?
Just like that.
Just,
yeah, cut them out. Then you'll have 2 this size, 2 that size, the bigger size. Those are going to be your little shapes.
keep one of the big groupings, the other one you're going to cut in half.
So you should have 3 of each.
Yes.
3 reds and 3 blacks. Same thing. 2 little ones and a big one. Just like that. And the same thing for the black. The 2 little ones and the big one. Because we're going to balance it just like this one. Got all messed up. And back up there. And I'll show you an easy way to balance this. Just make sure that they are really listening and paying attention, because they will get very frustrated if they're not listening. And as you can see, my first attempt a long time ago came out really curly and weird looking with these little wires, how they're connected. And I really had to mess with this to make it stand up straight. It just fell over. So I didn't balance it right. Now Calder, it was easy for him because he was an engineer. So tell them to put on their engineering hats and they have to get that part going. There are going to be 3 wires. Once you have your little pieces cut out, you're going to do the same thing you did for the little guys. You're going to cut out shapes. 2 are going to be the same of your little shapes, put them together and cut out whatever you want for your little abstract shape with both of them at the same time. And they're going to be the smaller shapes. Let's see. So you'll have two identical little shapes. And then you're going to do the same thing with the red small pieces. And it could be whatever shape they want. And have them keep their scraps, of course. And it could be pointy little things. You can have them do like little lightning bolt shapes. This is the bigger size, but you can have them do something like that. Something that looks like a lobster claw. It could be like a guitar pick. They could even just make a plain old triangle if they want to. If they don't feel like cutting, they can do something that looks like a little fish tail. Whatever color you have. And like I said, we could do this all with blue and white or pink or whatever, but Calder's favorite color was red, so that works well. And a lot of his sculptures were black or red. So I've got my little shapes. I've got my two reds. I've got my two blacks. And then you're going to do a big shape by putting your black and red big pieces together, and you're going to cut a very bigger, like a much bigger shape out of that. Same thing, put them together. And again, whatever kind of a shape they want to make is fine. So they've got two of those. And then we're going to set those aside. Now once everybody has their little shapes cut out, then I will show you the easiest way to do the wire.
By the way, you're using Meet the Masters scissors or Art Master scissors. They're purchased for our program. I'm just throwing them out there for you guys to pay attention. I've written on everybody's scissors. If it wears off or something, take a Sharpie. I have a Sharpie in the cabinet and you can rewrite on them. But please don't confuse them with the classroom scissors. When you get to the classrooms, especially the younger grades, they have usually a little kitty in the front, in the middle of their desks. And they already have scissors and they already have glue. That means you don't have to put out our glue and scissors. You don't have to confuse ours, save our supplies for the upper grades. But if there's not enough, you guys have them. Just make sure you return them to our bag, okay? Or our boxes over there. Make sure all the glue comes back and all the tape and all of the scissors.
So then we're going to make our main base part of it. It's going to be the center wire that's going to stick up, and that we're going to hang the other ones from. So
Taping them like you did the other one?
We're going to do something different. First of all, just take one of the wires and take your base, lay it flat on the desk, your base, so that they can glue it or tape it, I mean. And then same thing, we're going to just put one of them in the middle. But before you do that, before you do any taping, what you're going to do with this wire, we have to make a hook to hold the rest. So at the top of one side, like that part that's going to go into your base, hold it with your finger and thumb. Just bend it over your first finger, so you've got like a little hook on it. Just going to be like a little, it's like this, like a little shepherd's hook. And then you're just going to bend the bottom part up again. So you've got like a little curve, looks like a little S. It'll be like that, like a little hook. I'll bring it around and show you. You do something like that. So you're going to bend it down and then back up. So it's like a little, just like that. So we're going to hang something on there. We're going to hang something right now. Yes.
And then you just stick out the bottom?
All you want to do, this is going to be the top.
We can do it.
And we'll squish it tighter so that it holds on to it later, but right now all we need is just this little type of a hook. Fold it down and then fold it back up. So just fold it down and then fold it back up. That's how it should look. And we're going to make it a little bit tighter so it will hold on to it. But for right now, we're going to do that. And then the straight side of it, we're going to glue it, or tape it right into the center. Not all the way down, because you want to leave it standing up tall enough so that you've got a base, like a long wire on there. Just tape it to the one part of it, and then open it back up and cut your little thing. So tape it right in there like that. on your desk. And that can get set aside as soon as you've got it taped. So it should end up looking like that, with one little stick with a little hook on the end of it standing up. And then put that aside. We're going to not worry about that for a minute. Then you have two other wires, so you only need one of those. And you're going to lay it flat on your desk, and you're going to glue a small shape to each end of that. You can do red on one side, or you can do red and black on both sides. You can do red on one, black on the other. It's up to them, however they want to do it. But do two matching shapes. So they've got two on one end, two on the other. And the little shapes, not the bigger ones. Let's see, where's my small ones? And I cut my reds together the same size, so I'm just going to use those guys. Black on one side, red on the other. And what they're going to do is they're going to just lay their wire on the table, tape it, if you want to tape it to the wire just like that. You're just going to have like one on each end.
Are they opposite or the same?
They could be whatever they want, just so they're two little smallish shapes. Because you have the one bigger shape, that's not going to go on here. This is going to be the small ones.
I can't see what you're doing right now. Are you
You should have it just like that. Take like the same type shape on each end. And if you don't want the tape to show, then I'm going to glue my black one on the other side of it. But it's the smaller size shape, because the bigger one has to balance it out.
You're going to balance the weight on both sides,
Yeah.
so you want it even on both sides.
Yeah, you want it even on both sides. They have to have the same shapes so that they're the same
Now,
weight.
if you actually did the black and the red would go separate. You'd do the black on the other side as opposed to putting them on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little barbell. And like 5th grade and above, they can start like, they can bend theirs around a pencil so that it looks like it's got more like dimension to it, and then you can just glue
Well, I've got a lot of
those
people
sides.
doing two different things on the different sides. Hold on.